Hello YouTube, B-Dubs, BC Dubs, sorry. Coming back with another video today. It's a little later in the day than I normally like to make videos. It's, work and everything else. First opportunity. I have children, so I have to take care of those guys. But anyway, got a minute for a break, and I uploaded a video yesterday showing my father-in-law's quote-unquote man cave that he has, and really enjoyed making that video. I'm still searching for what kind of content creator I want to be. Is it an everyday life thing? Is it, obviously I want it to be positive and just stuff that people really would be interested in. A little backstory about myself. I'm a little more, everybody's moving forward with technology. I'm moving in reverse. So, for instance, if you're streaming movies, I'm hunting Blu-rays. If you're on Spotify, I'm buying vinyl. If you've got the PS5, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the NES. Just the way that I'm wired. I'm just wired that way. I'm not a big fan of technology, being... I understand its use and its place and how technology has advanced to help us with things. But I got a soft spot for the old ways. And I'm a 90s. I grew up, and my inspirational years were in the 90s. I was born in 1980. So, I was 15 before the internet even came out. And I know a lot of people that watch this kind of content can relate to that. I just always liked the way things were. I like to go back to the way things were. And I think it's okay just to slow down. Technology isn't isn't everything. And that's what I like to do. So anyway, long intro, sorry about that. I thought today, since I showed my father-in-law's a little bit of his man cave today, I'm in mine, my man cave, as you can see. You can see Ted Williams autograph back there in the back. Clearly, I'm an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But I'd like to show you, musically, what I'm listening to, right now. I like to collect original vinyls, and I'd like to show you guys some more of my things I'm listening to now, what I enjoy to listen to right now, and some more obscure stuff. And if anybody's into vinyl, maybe you'll like this video. And one thing I've been forgetting to do in all my videos, and I'm trying to grow this channel, I'm new to this, is if you like this content and you find it suitable, please like and subscribe to the channel. BC Dubs, we're going to upload something every single day until we get this thing rolling. And I like to roll it with you guys, and I can't do it without you guys. So anyway, if you listen in the background, that's what I'm listening to right now on vinyl. And this is something I found at a bin store, believe it or not. I was at a bin store and was just thumbing through the bins, the old stuff that people didn't pick up from Amazon or whatever. And I pulled this out and I thought, excuse me, it's upside down. This is going to be a kid's album, but it was a record and it was $5. So why not pick it up? I brought it home, and actually it's techno. And the creator of this music is CBD Riki. The name of the album is called Moonbeam, and it is fantastic if you like techno. More of the trance breakbeat stuff. Just an awesome find for $5. It was still sealed. CBD Riki, the name of the album is Moonbeam. That's what we're listening to right now. Now to get into some, like many of us that grew up in the 80s and the 90s, traveling in the car with our parents, we listened to what they wanted to listen to. And I was always amazed when my dad knew every word to every song that was on the radio. And I was like, how does he do that? Well, my mind's kind of wired that way too. I can sing along to songs, hundreds and hundreds of songs from the 90s all the way up to the early 2000s. I don't know what happened to music after that, but we still got a couple of mainstay staples that are still trying to keep it real. Anyway, some stuff that I'm listening to right now, some more of my obscure stuff and stuff that I really enjoy. Steve Miller, Fly Like an Eagle. This guy is an absolute genius, a musical genius. Simplistic, but great guitar sounds. I really love everything Steve Miller's done. This is another one of my, these are original records, by the way. This is another one of his that I really, really enjoy. Actually, I like this album better than Fly Like an Eagle. It's Book of Dreams. Great record. Jet Airliner, Wintertime, Swingtown, Jungle Love is on this album. Just a great, sonically, it's just a great experience. If you are tired of the music today and you're of a younger generation and you want to go back to listen to some stuff that you've never heard before, Steve Miller. It's fresh. Another great album. Now this is obviously not an original. This was something I picked up. But another great album that's just a fantastic record from start to finish. Something that you can just put on and let spin. Counting Crows. August and Everything After. A really, really well-written record. Very strong lyrically. It's a somber album, but a fantastic record. Love this record right here. If you are a guitar guy and you just love guitar rock and blues, the best thing going and just an absolute maestro on the guitar right now, and probably the best guitarist out there, you know, right now, and he's been out there forever, but he's just a true virtuoso. Love this guy. I was stumbling through TV late at night one night, and I came across this guy on Public Broadcasting Network, and it was none other than Joe Bonamassa. This particular album is Joe Bonamassa, Live from Nowhere. It's a fantastic album. When I first heard of Joe Bonamassa, like I said, I was going through TV as public broadcasting, and he was live in Vienna, and it was all acoustic, you know, shakers and acoustic guitars and piano. It was fantastic. Highly recommend Joe Bonamassa. If you can stumble across it maybe on YouTube, the Live from Vienna is just amazing. You will be blown away with his guitar techs. I mean, his guitar play. It's just sensational. Another great album, start to finish, that I really enjoy listening to. Just put it on, let it play in the background, go in the yard, play with your kids, work on the car, you know, do some housework, clean up to, work out to, whatever. Boston. This album is amazing, and they knew it. There's a couple of quotes on the back where they're trying to describe what this album is, and it just keeps saying, listen to this album. It's the best album. I mean, this record is fantastic. Highly recommend Boston to anyone. This is an original, by the way. A lot of people that know me know that I'm a hard rock guy, but I gotta be honest, and people from the 90s will remember this band maybe from a couple of songs, and they were a blip on the radar to them. They weren't that mainstream, but they never stopped making records, and every record they've ever made has been just as amazing as the other records. If you like singer-songwriter stuff with deep lyrical content that actually means something, just some of the best production sonically, one of the most unique voices in rock and roll, right here. Our Lady Peace. This is Clumsy. And what's unique about this album is you can see right here, this pressing, they only made 500 of these. And this was in some just random grab bin. I think it was like at a Books A Million or something, and I was just flipping through and I saw it and I was like, how did this end up here? There's only 500 copies made. And this is a marbled, it's their marbled vinyl. excuse me, let me get this back in here. This is one of my favorite albums. I'd hate to drop this thing. Just an amazing record, an amazing band, a Canadian band, and maybe that's why they don't get a lot of love here. Matter of fact, last night I was laying in bed and stumbled across, they had a new album. I guess you could only get it as an NFT, which really sucks. I wish bands wouldn't do that because, you know, there's fans out there. Quick story, gosh, about 3 years ago now, my wife surprised me with tickets to, she knows I like Our Lady Peace a lot. And Our Lady Peace is another one of those bands. They got like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, it's either 9 or 10 studio albums. And I know songs on every one of them. I could sing along to every one of them. And the concert was Bush, Live, and Our Lady Peace. And I gotta be honest, I just wanted to go for Our Lady Peace. It was a 45-minute set, rocked out to every song. And the funny thing was there was a lady, she must have been in her mid-50s or something. Didn't look like she really belonged at the concert. I mean, if you're talking Bush and Live. But she was there also just to see Our Lady Peace, and that lady stood up and she rocked her heart out to every single song that they played. Absolutely amazing band. Highly recommend. You know, if you really, their first 3 or 4 albums, if you don't want to go too deep, but their first 3 or 4 albums, fantastic. Bob Rock actually came on and produced one of their records, and that's kind of when they blew up with One Man Army and all that stuff, and really good. Clumsy has, what are some songs you may recognize if you're going on YouTube, would be, to search for some music, would be Superman's Dead if you're from the 90s, 4 a.m., Clumsy, songs like that. Just great songs. You know, Superman's Dead, Automatic Flowers, Carnival, Big Dumb Rocket, 4 a.m., Shaking, Clumsy, Hello Oscar, Let You Down, The Story of 100 Aisles, and Car Crash. Fantastic record. Now, my favorite band of all time, and these guys could put out a record played on spoons and I would buy it, because it's one of those bands that was just kind of always there for me. When I was in the 5th grade, and what shaped me musically was, we had a Secret Santa and at school, and this kid came and he drew my name, and I guess he just got some tapes from his dad or whatever, and he brought me 2 cassette tapes were my gift, and he handed them to me, and I didn't know anything about either one of the bands. He handed me, one of them was Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, and the other one was Metallica, Garage Days Revisited. I went home, I had a cassette player, and the first one of the 2 that I popped in was the Metallica Garage Days Revisited 598 EP, and that was it. Who knows where I'd have been if I'd have put that Motley Crue album in first. Thank goodness I didn't. I respect Motley Crue. I do, as I get older and searching for good music, because there's none out there, I find myself going backwards to find stuff that I may be interested in. And as I get a little older, I do tend to check out some of the hair metal and the hair bands from the 80s that I really didn't give a nod to back then, because listen, if you wore makeup and you teased your hair, I didn't listen to you, because Metallica's they were my boys. And one album that I'm really enjoying right now, of course, is their new record, 72 Seasons. You know, it's got mixed reviews from the true diehards, but I mean, Metallica is one of those bands everybody just loves to pick apart because of what they've done in the past. Well, guys and girls, they're almost in their 60s. They're gonna slow down a little bit, okay? But sonically, it's probably the best album that they put out since the Black Album. The songs on the back end of this record, Chasing Barbed Wire, Chasing Light, Too Far Gone, Room of Mirrors, Inamorata, blow me away. I love it. It takes me back to early Metallica, especially with songs like Too Far Gone and Room of Mirrors. Absolutely love this album. I don't know, I think this is a colored vinyl. It's not a special edition. Rushed out the day it was released, like I've done every Metallica album since I heard that Garage Days 598 EP. Obviously, Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, and Injustice for All were already out at that time. So I went backwards and got all those records. But man, I finally had an opportunity in 2016 in July on the Hardwired Self-Destruct Tour to see him in Orlando at the Camping World Stadium. Didn't disappoint. If you haven't had an opportunity to see these guys live, if they come within 200 or 300 miles from your town, it is worth the trip. Amazing, amazing band. I've always been able to connect to this band. I used to fall asleep to Ride the Lightning with headphones on. It used to, there's a little bit of wind that goes through the Call of Cthulhu at the end of that album. Always knocks me out. When I was sleeping when I was a kid. Just love everything about it. Everything about them. Everything about that. This is what they stand for. Everything. Another band, and I'm super stoked. And this is a shout out to you, Steve Bowie. And this band they get a lot of flack, and I don't understand why, because they're really a hard rock band, and I think they got unfairly thrown in the mix with like Nickelback and bands like that, which I know Nickelback gets a lot of flack because they're lyrically their stuff's weird, but this band I'm talking about right now, Creed. This is the Human Clay album, a fantastic album. All four of their albums, and yes, there were four. Creed, their original, Human Clay, Weathered. I mean, just fantastic records. Scott Stapp is one of the best vocalists in rock and roll history. Mark Tremonti is one of the best songwriters and guitar players in rock and roll history. And if you can't find the heavy riffs in Creed, then I don't know what you're listening to. Mark Tremonti, if you go back, and I have some of his solo work. I have all of Alter Bridge's albums, which are Creed minus Scott Stapp, obviously. I love Mark Tremonti. His biggest influence was Metallica. And he learned to play guitar, learning the Master of Puppets album. So, of course, it's going to bleed in. Listen again. Listen to the heavy lyrics on this record, or the heavy riffs on this record. Just an awesome band. Love what they stood for. Glad to see Scott Stapp is doing well. I hope this reunion tour that they're on right now, they're touring right now, I hope they get back together and put out a record. I think they will. And as a matter of fact, yours truly is going in September to see him in Tampa. I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait. Another album, which is a really strange record. My buddy gave this to me. I was just looking through his stuff. He had some rock stuff, and I was looking through his stuff. And the only reason I even brought this out was to show you guys some of this crazy stuff from the 70s and their album, the album arts. And album arts used to be everything. Depending on the album art, you may have skipped by this record in the record store. I recommend that you do skip by this record. It's just weird. It's more like, I don't know, man. It's a fusion type record, but the only reason I'm bringing it out is to show you some of the artwork on this album. Lee Oscar is the name. You can clearly see the harmonica with the stars behind it. The back cover is a man riding a dragonfly with a woman with her hands in the air. Just insane stuff. Let's see, there's some other crazy artwork in here. This is the front inside jacket. Just, what are we doing? Just tripping is what this is. But anyway, I thought you guys would like that. And leave a comment down below. What are some other artworks on some albums that you guys have came across that you just find just really obscure and just unique and different? And I'll look through them and look those up, and I get a kick out of that stuff. I really do. Now, I mentioned earlier that I've been going backwards and trying to, find some hair metal and some things. Now, I've always known, who this band was, but never really listened to them much. But I went out and got original copy of Rat out of a cellar. I mean, you're talking about hair here. I mean, these guys, my goodness. Fantastic record. Like I said, original copy. Obviously has Round and Round on here, and much more. But great record, great band. Hit it really hard. If I'm in a different mood, kind of want to bring it down a notch, but really enjoy this band. I know they've been through a bunch of name changes throughout the years and throughout their history, but I'm sorry. Jefferson Airplane. Surrealistic Pillow. This is an original copy of this album as well. Great band. I mean, really trippy stuff from the 60s and 70s. Some of the songs that are on this album you may recognize is Somebody to Love. Don't you want somebody to love? That's one. And then obviously White Rabbit. Classic song. They have another song, Miracles, which is just fantastic. But anyway, those are some things that I'm listening to right now. More to come. That is obviously not my entire vinyl collection. So I'm looking at right now, and what I really want to get a hold of is the others. Right now on the Black Album, that's remastered, the deluxe box set, and Injustice for All, the deluxe box set. I need to go back, and I shouldn't have waited because now they're super expensive, and because they're numbered, they only made so many copies of these things. I've got to get, Master Puppets Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All, which the Kill 'Em All right now is like $3,000. I don't have that kind of money, but who knows? Maybe this YouTube channel will take off and I'll be able to get something like that and do a review for you guys. Anyway, I hope you found this video enjoyable and I hope you had a blessed and positive day. Be back for more. Out.